The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power production designer Ramsey Avery explains how and why Moria is different from Peter Jackson's version. Premiering earlier this month on Prime Video, The Rings of Power is based on author J. R.R. Tolkien's beloved fantasy novels. Taking place thousands of years before the events of Jackson's acclaimed The Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Rings of Power chronicles the rise of evil in the Second Age of Middle-earth. Although the series features a brand new cast of actors, several familiar characters return, including Galadriel, Morfydd Clark, and Elrond, Robert Aramayo. In addition to returning characters, The Rings of Power also features the return of Khazad-dûm, also known as Moria. The expansive underground kingdom is first seen in The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, when Frodo, Elijah Wood, and the rest of the Fellowship elect to travel through the Misty Mountains rather than over them. Where Moria was dark, littered with corpses, and completely abandoned in the Fellowship of the Ring, the Rings of Power's version of Moria is filled with life and is seen in all its glory in Episode 2 when Elrond meets with Prince Durin IV, Owain Arthur. In a new interview with IndieWire, Avery explains how he approached redesigning Moria and how the iconic location is different from Jackson's version. The production designer started from the notion that, in the Third Age, the dwarves were said to have become more greedy and were digging too deep into the mountain. He ultimately worked backward from there, creating a Moria that still pulled from the iconic The Lord of the Rings concept art by John Howe and Alan Lee, but reflected a different dwarven mindset, with the internal structures more respectful towards the existing geography. Check out Avery's detailed explanation below. As with most elements of the Rings of Power, it's clear that Avery had to strike a balance between the familiar and the fresh. While Jackson's trilogy is beloved among fans, and it established the visual language of the world of Middle-earth, the Rings of Power's setting means it can't just look the same. As was shown off in Episode 2, Moria is thriving during the Second Age, with the kingdom managing to look both like an impressive work of stone masonry and a natural extension of existing rock formations. The episode also teases a potential bridge to the greedy dwarf mindset that dominated the Third Age, with the reveal that Prince Durin IV and his father, the king, have something secret and glowing hidden in a box. It remains to be seen how much the Rings of Power will explore the downfall of Moria, but the show is certainly setting up a mysterious storyline involving the dwarves. After all, as was shown in one of the earliest trailers for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, a Balrog is eventually unleashed, potentially spelling the beginning of the end for Moria. Join Amazon Prime. Watch thousands of movies, TV shows anytime. Start free trial now. Source: IndieWire.
With a gentle touch you tell